By the way, today's Sunday, it's Easter. Happy Resurrection Day to everybody. The cold front is here. The wind's out of the north about 25 or 30, and the temperature's dropping about 10 degrees an hour. So we're gonna close things up, got the flowers inside. But we hadn't said anything about these much. They're 2 barrels. This is what they I think they call the crack key technique, Dr. Crack Key. But you fill the barrels full of water, you put fertilizer solution in it, and you drill a hole in the top and you set a little cup inside. They call them a net cup. And you set your cucumber plant in the net cup, and any other plant for that matter probably. And that's it. As the roots go down into the water, they use the water, the plant grows, the water level goes down, the roots grow down. As the roots grow down, there's airspace in between so they don't rot in the water, and they just keep reaching for water and pulling that water level down. When the water's gone, the plant's done, and you've had all your harvests. But we put these in here as babies with 2 leaves about, what, 3 weeks ago? Yeah. Something like that. But look at them, and if you look down in here, we have cucumbers everywhere. They're blooming, they're setting, they're putting cucumbers on. There's all these little baby cucumbers everywhere. I think these were picklers that we put in here. This one may not have been, but they have taken off, and they're probably one of the most growth we've had out of anything in the garden. And we didn't do anything. We just dropped the net pots in there and said, well, we'll see what happens. So we were commenting today, we're probably going to find some more of these food grade drums and set around in the greenhouse, because this is so far super successful. Good morning. It is April the 15th, tax day, but it's COVID delayed. We're on quarantine day, I don't know, 17 or 19 or something. Ruger had to come up here and knock me down, try. It's 28 last night. Supposed to be 60 today, 30 tonight, snow tomorrow night, and then, maybe then, will be where we can put things outside. But yeah, 28. We haven't done much outside because we've got things coming up in rows. Out here we've got green beans and carrots and peas coming up. We had to cover them. And then the greenhouse, of course, everything inside's okay, but it's just dadgum cold. So give you a look at the greenhouse. It's I think everything's good. We'll go over and look at the thermometer in a second, but I believe there's the cracky cucumbers. I think they're fine. And we've kind of been drying out. The chickens are talking this morning. We've kind of been drying out our tomatoes a little bit. We're only watering down the pipes now because they were getting some leaf curl. That either happened from the 92, 94 degrees we had, and we were over watering on top a little bit. And those two together made the leaves curl a little, I think. And so now we're into freezing temps, but we've stopped the top watering to kind of help that leaf curl. You can see that a little bit here. They're curling a little on us. Not bad, but not good when they do this. That's usually, from what I read and gather, a sign of overwatering. So anyway, froze again last night, and let's see what the old thermometer says here. It's about 35 in the greenhouse. We opened it just now. Sun's out, so should be a warm day in here. But anyway, crazy spring 2020 quarantine, COVID virus, weather, and we just giving you a quick update. There's a lovely tomato with what's going on. Here's some of the outside garden with our beans popping out in rows and our onions, and typically we plant all the rest of that to tomatoes, and we've got them ready. We can't put them out, and this is kind of some of that new area, and we got beans and carrots and okra and peas coming up in it. 100-foot rows there. They go on down around the corner. And we can't do any more out here till we get past these freezes. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And y'all stay warm. Keep your stuff covered till this is over. This is one crazy spring. Today is April the 15th, and this morning it was super cold. We're out in the shop today. I need some hooks for the greenhouse, and these will screw to the inside of the bows on the greenhouse, and we'll tie our rope that's going over the outside down to the bottom. There's excess rope down there. We'll tie that rope under the plastic into these hooks, so it'll help hold our sides up. I just needed some hooks, and yes, we could go to the hardware store and buy these, but these are super simple to make. You just take some round rods, bend them, hit them with a punch for some holes, and so we'll drill those holes out and then cut them off. And so Mr. Brooks, our resident blacksmith, he likes to make knives and different projects, and so he is making our hooks today. And so I wanted to show you that process a little bit. He's got a coal forge over here and a propane forge. We're using the propane one today, and then he's going to bend us some hooks, and we'll get a look at that in just a second. Okay, what Brooks is working on there is he heats up his rod. That's just cold rolled round rod, and he gets the end rounded back up and smoothed up from cutting the last hook off. And once he gets it where he's happy with it, he'll use his anvil to start the hook and bend that with his hammer, and he just keeps working that metal until he gets the hook that he wants. And yes, it'd be a whole lot easier to go to the box store and buy some hooks, but these are a lot stronger, they'll last longer, and we made them right here on the farm, and a lot of years from now I'll know that he made them, and they just a little more character that way. So close up here, he's got a propane forge. It gets a lot hotter, a lot faster, and he's heating up his round rod, and then he's got an anvil here, and he's just going to finish kind of perfecting this hook and make sure it's not crooked. He'll lay it on its side, tap it on both sides, and then he's going to close it up a little too. I think it's a little big. Yeah, bring it on top and lay it on its back.
So like you see, as I'm hitting that back, it's kind of closing it in, and I hit the top to really also close it in. Then I'm going to kind of flatten it out. As you can see, it's getting kind of cold, so I'm going to put it back in so it'll heat up a bit.
Okay, this time he's gonna, when he gets it down here to his anvil, he's gonna flatten the back, and that's where we drill the holes. didn't quite get it done on that heating, so he's got to go back. Probably what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15.
And we've got 3 hooks made. He's working the 4th, and so it doesn't take long. You got the right equipment, an anvil, a few things. You can make a lot of the hardware that you need for lots of different things on the farm. But show you something. That's something Brooks works on a lot. That was a railroad spike, and he turns them into knives. A lot of guys around here like to use them for cutting twine off hay bales. They keep them in their pickups. They stay pretty sharp. He tempers them, gets them sharp, and they're just really indestructible. And they can kind of abuse them, cutting twine off hay. And so that's one of the projects he works on out here. But there's lots of other things we've done. We've made steel flowers and
all kinds of cool stuff. Like,
lots of different things.
out of that same round stuff, I kind of made like a little spear.
There's a round bar that's got a blade started on it, out of round bar. But he likes to put blades on things, and that's some of the things you can do. You have a little blacksmith shop set up. A lot of the stuff is getting kind of hard to find. A lot of these blacksmith clubs are gathering this stuff up. But we found that most of those guys, you talk to them, Brooks talks to them, they're real helpful, lots of pointers. A lot of them will share things with you, show you where to get tools. We've picked up tools in antique shops, tongs, and different things.
Wonderful people there to help however they can. It's awesome.
A lot of guys in the clubs are super helpful. So blacksmithing something you think you like, we do a little bit of that. We go over to Silver Dollar City or somewhere, you'll find Brooks and I standing at the blacksmith watching them work, and everybody else riding roller coasters. But anyway, just a quick look at a quick little project that we're doing out here in the shop, something I needed in the greenhouse, and Brooks is able to just forge it for us instead of go buy it at the store. So saving money. That round bar is pretty cheap, and we can pick that up a lot of times. We get that. As his rod shortens up there, he'll start using tongs to hang on to that rod because it's going to start transmitting heat up to him. A little extra challenge when you are holding it with tongs instead of your hands or gloves, but it's just something you learn to do because a lot of times your work is small, especially if you're making something like a cabinet handle or a hinge. You're working a small area, and you just got to learn to hold it with tongs when you're working this stuff. So. Hey friends, just a quick tour of the blacksmith shop that we were using there earlier. We started, and Brooks started, and I recommend everybody does this if you're interested in doing these things. We started with a coal forge, the old hand crank, get your coal going, and heat your stuff up with the coal. That's what we started with, and I'm still a little nostalgic towards it because it smells like Silver Dollar City. You can smell that coal burning, and we have a vent hood up here that we run a little blower so we don't smoke up the shop. And coal is definitely not as handy, doesn't burn as hot, takes longer. You have to run the blower by hand, but when you go to something like a propane forge, you definitely appreciate it a lot more for what it is. And it gets your work hotter, faster. You spend less time waiting on that. You can also get work too hot with it. But those are two types of forges that you could progress through when you're learning to do this. Another tool that's a must-have, I'll point down here at it, I hope. This is your, we painted our hooks that we made there. This is your number one item that you got to have, a good anvil. And this one's on a base of a telephone pole anchored on here. And that's where you do a whole lot of your work. This one's not perfect. Anvils are hard to find that are perfect, and they're very expensive because they're in high demand. Believe it or not, there's some people that they fill the bottoms of these with gunpowder, blow them in the air to see how high they can get them in contests. And then there's blacksmiths that obviously want more than one of these, and so they're just a good old anvil, and they sell new ones. There's some Chinese ones out there, but a good old anvil is something that is definitely in high demand. And so if you want an anvil, they're hard to find, and that's probably your biggest challenge if you're going to set up a little blacksmith operation, would be to get your anvil. So anyway, that's our little corner of the shop that we have set up for blacksmithing. And we have little projects, little things around the house, little things around the yard we need. If we need a part that we can't get, we make it. We do some arts and craft type work. Brooks does the knife work. And so if it's something you're interested in, feel free to holler at us about it. We don't know everything about it. We're no experts. There's quite a bit to it. There's a lot of information out there on YouTube about it, but we have fun doing it. And like I said, I'm going to have these hooks over here in the greenhouse for 100 years, and I'll know Brooks made them out in the shop for me. So that's always kind of neat as well. So anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's video on OK Family Farmstead. It was one of those, I guess, we make it days. We make it, grow it, create it on the farmstead. So this was a make it day, and I hope you enjoyed that. Punch the subscribe button, hit like, tell somebody about us, and we appreciate you.